Millionaires will be minted. And if you aren't preparing now, you're not going to be one of them. 2024 is going to be the year for crypto airdrops. There are literally thousands of projects that are looking to airdrop their token or distribute their tokens. But not all of them are worth it. Some of them will get you pennies, some dollars, but others will get you thousands and thousands of dollars. So I went through all the tedious work and I found a handful of them that will make you a minimum of 6 figures and only take less than 10 minutes of your time to deploy the strategy. No, we're not going to be doing a bunch of Zealy quests. No, we're not going to be doing a bunch of Twitter retweets. This is literally a airdrop guide for dummies. And yet over 99% of the people that watch this video, they still won't deploy this strategy. It's just more money for the people that do. Anyways, guys, before we get into this guide, if you guys are new to this channel, I talk about all things crypto, DeFi, NFTs, airdrops, you name it. If that's your cup of tea, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification. That way you guys are notified every time we make a new one. Let's go ahead and kick off our airdrop guide for 2024. If you guys are following me on Twitter, you guys saw this tweet with some information on it. This has to do with a lot of the Cosmos tokens. There are 7 in particular that you want to make sure you're staking. You want to stick with Cosmos, the Atom token, Tia, which is Celestia, OSMO, Coogi, Hua Hua, Stars, and Secret. I'll explain each of those later in this video and why, the reason for each of them. But just remember those tokens, write those down, and keep them on your list. I'll explain the thesis on each of these later in this video, as well as the amounts you need to stake, where to stake, what to stake, and how to deploy the different strategies for them. But let me explain why protocols would do an airdrop in the first place. Protocols choose to distribute their tokens via an airdrop because it's one of the best ways to market their project, generate interest, build a community, create goodwill, distribute the tokens, and most importantly, create that exit liquidity for money-hungry VCs when the bull market comes around. You might be sitting there thinking like, okay, how does an airdrop help money-hungry VCs exit their position? Projects typically receive investments from venture capital, and in exchange for those investments, they typically return in the form of vested tokens. So they receive tokens at a discounted rate, but they are not liquid. So they have to wait a certain period of time before they can actually sell the tokens. This is important to understand because vesting will not start till TGE. And when is TGE? Well, it's typically around the time that they're like airdrop. So VCs are like, let's get this coin out there. And they do this at the end of a bear / beginning of a bull run. Because typically bull runs last for about 2 years. And at the end of the bull run, that will be the time to exit and sell for the maximum profit. So launching at the beginning of a bull run allows for plenty of time for that token to become unvested and, well, sell at the top. The first coin on this list is Cosmos and the Atom token. The reason for this is basically the heart of the Cosmos ecosystem. This was the father of all the other Cosmos tokens. It is basically the first token built on Tendermint technology. And if you look in the history of all the airdrops, most of the huge airdrops went to Cosmos stakers. Some of them being OSMO, some of them being like Juno, Ion. These were multiple 5 to 6 figure airdrops for some people. And in last bull run, if you hit all of the different airdrops that they had, you could have made a minimum of 6 figures. And several of the airdrop multipliers had nothing to do with the capital invested. Some of the biggest determining factors had to do with voting on governance proposals or who you voted to. This is a quick example of the Nita airdrop. This was given to Juno stakers. Basically, all you had to do was delegate 25 Juno. You would have earned 1 Nita. Back on the bull run, 25 Juno, depending on when you got the... Well, let's just say you got the airdrop from staking Cosmos. You basically would have got airdropped $2,400 at its peak. That's how much one Nita was worth. And if you voted on one proposal, go ahead and add on another $24,000 just for simply clicking a button and paying a gas fee. Then go ahead and throw on another $12,000 if you voted on all of the proposals. And then why not just give a tip of $500 just for delegating to someone outside of the top 20. This was literally just one airdrop. But again, going back on the thesis of Cosmos and the token itself, there have already been several airdrops to the Atom token, and if you were staking and voting on different proposals. So sometimes the more things change, the more they stay the same. The second thing is it's basically the heart of the Cosmos community. So how do you get buddy-buddy with all the other community members in Cosmos? Well, you give them free tokens. And that way it kind of builds your own community around your token itself. Now, speaking of airdrops, this leads me into the second one, which is Celestia. This was given out as a airdrop to some active EVM users, GitHub peeps, but in general, it was mainly given to Cosmos stakers. Let that sink in. All you had to do was stake some Atom tokens. Hey, Tom! And then you would have earned some free TIA. Like, for free. This thing mooned. It started at $2 and now it's trading over $12. Now, the reason why I put Celestia on this list is it's really simple, guys. Go to their website and read these words right here. Celestia is a modular data availability network that securely scales with a number of users, making it easy for anyone to launch their own blockchain. Okay, let that sink in. Anyone to launch their own blockchain. So who do you think would be a really good list to select as a snapshot for distributing those tokens for their own blockchain that they launch? It's probably TIA, not financial advice. There have already been a couple of announcements and snapshots made saying, hey, we're going to be including Celestia or TIA tokens in our snapshot. An example of one of those protocols on Celestia is Milky Way. This is a liquid staking product that is for Celestia. And this is just one of the few. There are many others coming down the pipeline, especially with this quote unquote newer technology of modular blockchains. Now, the third one is OSMO. This is one of the big airdrops that happened to any of the Atom stakers. The reason why I have OSMO on my list is because Osmosis is basically the liquidity hub for Cosmos. So what better way to get on the good side of the Osmosis community than to airdrop tokens to people here? It's the main DEX on Cosmos. And if you're a project and you want liquidity for your token, how do you get in one of those governance proposals in order to get some of the OSMO emissions? Well, get on their good side. And that's why I have OSMO on this list. And this is not just speculation. You already got the TIA airdrop from OSMO. You got the Pyth airdrop from OSMO, providing liquidity, staking. You also got the Namada airdrop. You got the Stride airdrop. You got the Och airdrop. You got the Nam airdrop. I mean, I could go on and on and on. Don't sleep on OSMO. And simply, if you just wanted free money, all you had to do is stake or provide liquidity on some of these pools and vote on a governance proposal. We're talking thousands, like tens of thousands of dollars just for staking and doing nothing and getting paid to do it. Now, the next one on the list is Coogi. You can look at this like the DeFi hub. Osmosis is the liquidity hub, whereas Coogi is the DeFi hub. This is going to be like more of your advanced DeFi features, like your market makers, your liquidation bots, or your lending protocols, your CDP vaults, that type of thing. And some of the tokens that have already been airdropped on Coogi was Unstake or NSTK. People on Twitter were saying, dude, this is basically almost 30% of my actual stake on Coogi. So what this means is if they stake $10,000 worth of Coogi, they basically just got $3,000 for free. Another one is MNTA. This is Manta DAO. This was literally just airdropped for free to Coogi stakers. You also got White Whale. This was basically just airdropped again for free to Coogi stakers. So think of the OG Luna community, and if you weren't around in the Luna days, they were airdrop happy. It's similar to that on Coogi and Kujera. And the best part about Coogi is that not a lot of people are staking it, and it's a lower cap coin compared to the others. So what this means is your airdrops are not going to be diluted. So you're going to be getting most of those airdrops. So basically, if you do get an airdrop, it's going to be with size. Everyone loves airdrops, but when it's like a couple of pennies, that's like, I don't know. All right, so the next one is Hua Hua. So Hua Hua is a meme coin on Cosmos, and it's actually the main meme coin. But you got to think, all right, so if there are going to be some people or other projects looking to launch their own meme coin, what are they going to choose? Well, the Hua Hua community is a huge meme coin community on Cosmos, and just getting buddy with them by airdropping the tokens is one great way to get their foot in the door and start their own community. So think of Hua Hua as the king of meme coins. The next one is Stars. Stars is your NFT marketplace on Cosmos. This one, in my opinion, is important to stake because if NFT projects are looking to distribute a token, what better way than to look at Stargaze stakers, the one that support their ecosystem, that they can buy and sell their own NFTs, as well as use that again as a way to get their foot in the door with the other NFT communities out there. Because more likely than not, those guys are also probably staking stars. And this is like a quick overview of the Stargaze platform, but you can see here it has a full list of all of the random Cosmos NFTs. And if any of these guys launch projects, where do you think they're going to get their snapshot on? Probably from their NFTs, but also to Stargaze stakers. That's how they can expand their audience. So similar to Osmosis, some of the projects that want to get on the good side of the communities on Stargaze, they would want to look to distribute tokens to the ones that support the platform, like the stakers of stars themselves. Now, the last one I want to cover is Secret Network. Not a lot of people leave this one on the list, and it is a lower market cap coin compared to the others, but Secret is basically the privacy niche on the Cosmos ecosystem. And being that there's less interest in this coin and less people staking, if they do airdrop, it's typically with size. And there were several sizable airdrops from people who staked Secret. In fact, there's already several of them that are upcoming. You got Clan Network, Selenium, Stake Easy, Signal, Polymer, Craft Economy, Obscure Finance, Legend DAO. And then some of the claimable ones are Finna Cash, Jackal, Citadel One, Shade. You also had CFI, which was basically a Secret Network swapper, Amber DAO, Gelato, just to name a few. So now you probably have a couple of questions in your mind. The first one being is where to stake. Simply all you have to do is have funds in your wallet. So for example, if you want Cosmos, you can actually access the Kepler UI and say, hey, I want to deposit tokens into this address, and you send your tokens to the address. Now, once you have the tokens in your wallet, you choose who to delegate to. This second step is extremely important. Do not, I repeat, do not delegate to someone like Coinbase Custody, Binance. This is that's the worst thing you can do. Instead, choose someone that is inside the community or someone that is developing a protocol in the community, and preferably one that's not 0%. So here's an example of what I mean by this. Prism, they're going to be airdropping to people who delegate to the Prism validator. So if I have some Cosmos, OSMO, or Luna, I would be incentivized with additional tokens or with tokens of an airdrop to Prism stakers. So simply what I would do is I would look for Prism, and you can see here I can delegate to them and I can earn a reward, which is the airdrop. There are also some others that don't have a token yet, and that will be airdropping one. I've heard rumors that Arcadio is going to be a token that's going to be airdropped to people who delegate to Shapeshift. Posthuman, they already dropped their token for anyone that delegated to them. Citadel 1, if you delegated to them, you also got an airdrop. OSMO Station, if they do end up giving a token, this could be one of the requirements, delegating to them. And then you even have some community ones, like Sitka. Sitka is basically Sunny's node that he is running. Sunny is the developer behind Osmosis. So make sure you do some research and understand who you're delegating to. And in summary, stay away from the large exchanges like Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, etc. And stay away from the 0%. You can do the 0%, but just understand you might get roasted on some of the snapshots. An example is for Nita. You could have got that bonus allocation if you simply just deposited to anyone outside of the top 20. And the top 20 are going to be the ones, well, you simply just count and scroll. So typically when it's around 0.5%, you want to delegate to someone under that. And that's for the ethos of decentralization. Now, there is one thing you need to keep in mind when you're delegating. This is really important to do. You see this governance tab? Go to the governance proposals and see what's going on. Make sure you check this at least once a week and see what proposals are being out there. You can see what's going on with your token that you're holding, what the community. You can also find some alpha here in some of these different proposals. But make sure you vote on these. Put your say in there. Yes, one, you can get it for airdrops, but you can determine the future of that particular chain that your token is for. And lastly, you're probably asking how much, so you can set up like 20 different wallets and have them all in there. Well, look, don't be greedy, because there's a chance if you put like one token in each and every wallet, you might miss all the airdrops because it'll be like, hey, it's a minimum of 25. But if you throw your whole stack in one wallet, then you run the risk of, well, A, one is being hacked and someone takes all your funds, or two is like, oh, well, we're only targeting it for 25 tokens. You might get that snapshot, but you would have been more capital efficient if you split it up into different wallets. So for me, what I say is, for Cosmos, have at least 50 to 100 Atom tokens. For TIA, 50 to 100. For OSMO, at least 500 tokens. For Coogi, at least 200. Hua Hua, at least a milli. Secret, at least 1,000 tokens. On average, these are going to cost you about $500 to $800 for each of them. If you can't afford that, or if your capital is very tight, then there are 3 tokens that you must have staked. Like, in my opinion, for the most capital efficiency and the best bang for your buck. You got Cosmos, TIA, and OSMO. Do not fade those 3, not financial advice. If your liquidity is extremely strapped, then at least have some Atom staked. You will thank yourself later. Now, if you guys are looking for some extra credit airdrop wise, you also have Linea. Linea is a layer 2 ZK EVM that was developed by the Consensus team. If you guys don't know who Consensus is, they're basically the dudes behind MetaMask. But these guys have the Linea Voyage going on. It's basically their path to decentralization. Come on, guys. You know what the path to decentralization means. Ding, ding, ding. It's token. That's all it means. So if you guys missed the Arbitrum or Optimism airdrop, you probably don't want to miss this one. But they do have the Linea Voyage going on right now with a couple of different tasks that you guys can earn some XP. Like basically just trading, proof of humanity, liquidity providing. And these are time sensitive, so you want to make sure you knock these out as soon as you can. And if you look at Layer 2 Beat, they're actually ranked 3rd out of the ZK rollups based on TVL. You can see here that they have over $160 million in TVL, and they've slowly been cranking up. And some of the DeFi protocols that you can play around on Linea are like SyncSwap, Mindy Finance, it's a lending protocol. You also have Velocore, it's basically a 3-3 DEX. Then you also have some fun stuff with derivatives like Satori or Tomo, and it's SocialFi. I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys can work up your XP and get that extra credit and get that airdrop with size. So make sure you guys check that out in the description below. But in summary, guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you guys enjoy this type of content, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe to the channel, tell me what you guys think of the video. And if you guys would like to join the exclusive Discord community where I share things that I don't show on YouTube, as well as more airdrop alpha, yes, more than just this, as well as some other tokens I'm looking at in the market, you guys can join with the Patreon link in the description below. There is also a link where you can pay with crypto if you would like to join that way as well. As always, let's go ahead and hit you guys with a wisdom one-liner. We're going to hit you guys with Proverbs chapter 15, verses 7. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doeth not so. Oof. Be good, be righteous. Peace, guys.